Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Garrett the Cage, and welcome back to Far Cry New Dawn on the Xbox One X. Last episode, we made it to New Eden after chasing down the twins. One is dead, one is alive right now. I think I'm going to leave the one alive. But we're chasing down Ethan to the top of where the tree's at. I believe. Yep, up here. Oh, okay. So we have to drive. Oh my gosh. You got to be kidding me. They're making us use a boat all the way there. Well, I guess we'll start hiking. I got Doggo with us. Call him Doggo, not Timber. I don't care. So guys, I just happened to check into the map after a few moments of walking outside of the area. I can fast travel now. So yeah, we're just gonna fast travel up here because that only makes sense. Make a hike up here. I'm gonna assume it's because I was still within the grounds of New Eden that it wasn't letting me fast travel. I don't know. At least I didn't hike all the way there and didn't find it out. There's Joseph.
Ethan, what have you done?
I did what I had to do. I freed myself. I freed us all from you, from your rules.
Ethan, don't.
I will have what you denied me. You gave it to an outsider, but you wouldn't give it to me! I am your flesh and blood.
That was God's will.
You don't know God's will!
I was trying to protect you, son!
Taste is sweet.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. What'd you learn there?
Soul is not clean. Stop, please.
Okay. Oh, is that what he's going to become one of those things I seen dead? Not quite. Ooh, that's some good damage. Ow. Pop that. Obviously, we're trying to aim in those cracks at him. Ooh, that was a good one. Ow. Hurry, heal. How'd that little bitty jump do that much damage? Ow! How did that little bitty jump do that much damage? Woo! Come on, we almost got him. Oh, boy. Oh, I probably sped up that whole thing. That was about a 20-minute fight of me running around just shooting him. Holy crap.
Ethan? No. Father? Father? I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm so scared.
I know, son.
Can you forgive me? Father. Oh, my son. His only fault was that he was mine.
Why can't I have one?
You know the answer.
But I want to be strong, like you, Father.
This gift can be dangerous. And I don't want you getting hurt, Ethan.
Well, what about when I grow up?
Not even then.
But why? I want one.
Because it's not God's plan. Do you understand me, son?
You're an old man. And when you die, I will take one.
I thought I understood God's plan. I thought he wanted me.
You're trying to make me feel compassion for him.
But I am not his shepherd. you are. My soul has become a cancer. I am a monster. And I have only spread suffering and death in the name of God. My family is all ash. Eden is dust. And there is no redemption for this. No atonement. There is only the justice of God's hand. In this vicious cycle,
Okay.
give me God's justice. Release
I know they want you to go, but if you keep him alive, that's better. Nope, I'm satisfied. If you keep him alive, it'll be like he's reliving the worst things every day, and no, bullet to the chest. Go back to Russia's grave. Okay.
Got some basic vehicles ready for you if you need them.
Yeah, I don't know how I did the editing on that section. It was just a bullet sponge fight of constant running around and jumping, shooting, jumping, shooting. Probably just sped it up.
He'd be proud of us. Look at what we've built together. How far we've come. There's always going to be trouble out there, but we'll manage, right? There were so many times that I thought we were going to fail. That all of this would be for nothing. But we just didn't give up. Because we had hope. Here's to hope.
Alrighty, guys, that was Far Cry New Dawn. To put it easily, it's better than I expected. And here's why. Being that this is now almost becoming a yearly franchise, that tends to make him go downhill. We've seen that with Assassin's Creed. We've seen that with Call of Duty sometimes, depending on who you are. And Far Cry, there's some good points in it. Actually, it was a lot of fun. I had a good time playing it, and then I didn't. And then I kind of did, and I kind of didn't. For the price range of $40, it's a solid buy. We got a good chunk of playtime in it. I wouldn't call this an RPG, by all means. It was... You want to kill level 2 guys, you gotta at least have level 2 weapons to really do damage. You want to kill level 3 guys, gotta have level 3. That's not an RPG by all means. And the perk system's been there for a couple series games now. Graphically, beautiful game. Looks great. I feel like they let us down, however, when it came to this after the Fallout situation. They showed us this awesome saw gun, and that was it. Like, we had no other cool weapons. We had no other things. They were just reskinned to make them look like, oh, look, it's homemade. Now, it's still an assault rifle. It's still a shotgun. It's still a sniper rifle. You could have done so many different things. They could have nail guns, jump guns, kind of like I think it was Fallout. That you could put whatever you want into it and just shoot it out. There's so many different things they could have went with. And the world itself, I feel like it's pretty darn good looking for 17 years after bombs fell. And that's part of the problem. It didn't feel like a new world to me. It just felt like a reskinned and then sometimes almost identical Far Cry 5. And the biggest thing I have problems with is some of the perks. Like, the fast traveling is one thing to different outposts, but to fast travel to small points whenever you wanted at no cost seemed ridiculous. And here's why. You made me stop enjoying the world. You didn't make me drive places. You didn't make me go places. If I walked by a location, I could instantly fast travel to it. Also, the guns for hire, while they did help me out the very final fight because I didn't have strong enough weapons, were pointless throughout the whole thing. You could have one with you, and they definitely helped, but at no point in time did it feel like I could have had one or two and been fine. I didn't have to go through several episodes to go unlock the other ones. They would have just been there. And that was kind of disappointing in some aspects. I felt like in Far Cry 5, having the guns for hire was a great way to swap in and out and have different gameplay styles. Here, it didn't really do anything for me. Vehicles acted like vehicles. I didn't have to worry about anything different there or get fuel or anything like that. And so, it's not a bad game. It's, again, like I said, it's better than I expected, but not as good as I was hoping. I was, at the beginning, like, within the first few episodes, like, wow, this is really good. They really surprised me, and then near the end here, they fell off the map again. As Far Cry games do, at least for me. The twins were a good protagonist, for the most part, were good. Not great, not bad, they were good. And they were there. It was interesting to see how they played off each other and their dialogues. But for the most part, they're definitely no Voss or Pagan Min or even Joseph Seed. Speaking of Joseph Seed, the whole thing with New Eden was good to bring back in here. And then his whole story was really cool to see play out. We've seen a different side of him. I'm still more than happy to put a bullet in his chest. But overall, it wasn't bad. I honestly can't see a reason to keep playing it. I feel like this, and this is probably my biggest complaint about the game, I feel like this game was planned DLC story, and they just made it a spin-off game. Because this closed up so many problems I had with Far Cry 5. I hated the ending to Far Cry 5. But this was cut and dry. Beginning, end, done. Next game. And the Outpost thing was nice, and to be able to give that up to try to take it back and for challenge reasons was cool. And then we didn't do it, but the expedition stuff we could have done. But I felt like there were too many times the game was making me draw the game out. Like the sneaking portions were just kind of okay. The bullet sponges, I'm fine with bullet sponge bosses because I'd rather that than a cutscene kill. So I'm totally okay with that. But there were just too many times that I felt like the game was just making me go do stuff, like the guns for hire. They didn't show up, or I didn't start getting the missions until almost halfway through the game. I feel like that should have been one of the earlier things, because by that point, I didn't play with half of them. I picked them up because I did, but that's about it. I wish the world was a little more showing effects of the bombs. Make, radiation sites, make things like that. Maybe even some still active bliss areas that I walk across. Like, I freaked out when I started seeing those flowers because those translated to issues with bliss. But they didn't. Ethan and everything was an interesting little twist there, but a predictable one. And that's one thing about the game. I would say that there was no, oh my gosh moments like the other games. This was pretty cut and dry. with that all said, is it worth playing? Yeah, I think it's, if you're a Far Cry fan, sure, definitely go pick it up. If you're one of those people that go, Garrett, I didn't like Far Cry, I didn't like 5, 4, 3, 2, any of the others, probably not. Again, I would never classify this as an RPG. You want to play an RPG game, come over to the house, we'll grab a couple drinks, we'll play some RPGs. This is not an RPG. Now, maybe they're transitioning into an RPG-esque game. That's a possibility. Again, I don't consider this one being one. Either way, I thought the characters were good, not great. I like to see how they tossed in a few of the Far Cry 5 characters into the whole pot. I'm curious on how they lived, especially when a lot of those people were at the church site when we arrested John Seed. It was a little muddy on that kind of stuff. And I feel like some of the characters for 17 years, like, aged beyond belief. Maybe that's just the time. Maybe it's just how I envisioned it. I don't know. Either way, definitely I would recommend playing it if you're a Far Cry fan. And if you're not, maybe steer clear of it. Either way, thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you can, give the video a like. It does help us out quite a bit. Also, check out the channel because we have tons of videos going on over there. And until next time, you guys, stay frosty.